Right. That part has to be a certain square feet, for sure.
On that note,
It's too bad I can't use that building.
yes, but it looks horrible and it's
Paint would do
Hey,
wonders.
tell your daughter we're working. on
the
those
building
signs on it.
itself or the blue trailer. Which one are you talking about?
We had an extensive meeting about it.
Yeah.
Because the blue trailer is right there on Broadway. It faces Broadway. So it's parallel to Broadway. The building,
Doug and Mike about it.
so here's 97, here's Broadway. The pot shop's right here. The blue trailer's right here on Broadway.
What signs
It's like
The school
Yes,
zone signs.
That blue disgusting one with the Goldendale sign right there, that has the bathroom that the people in the pot shop utilize.
I must
They're not legal. They're not, yeah, they're not legal. They're not enforceable.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's also another trailer that's there right now that's white that I know that Mike had been working on him to get rid of, that's there, and now that Mike's gone, I don't know where it's at, and I was gonna bring that up today, because that's disgusting too.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Welcome to a regular meeting of the Goldendale City Council. Sandy, would you please take roll call?
Sure. Steve Johnston,
Here.
Lauren Baker,
Present.
Ellie Casey here, Andy Holm,
Here.
Danielle Clevenance
Here.
and Milo Mullen.
Here. Okay,
Theo.
I did get a text from Theone that she wouldn't be able to make it because she's out of town. Do we have a motion to excuse Theone Wheeler?
move, Mayor.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Unless there's any discussion. I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move along. Next item on the agenda is closed public comment. Is there anybody here that would like to make a public comment on a topic that has to do with our agenda today?
Nope.
Anybody on the Zoom that would like to make a public comment?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda and the consent agenda?
I move to approve the agenda and consent agenda as presented.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda and the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Okay. We'll move on to presentations, and we have a presentation from the Lions Club. Mr. Olson.
Presentation, that makes it sound pretty formal.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just here to touch bases on the 4th of July fireworks. From the Lions Club end of it, we're ready to go. I understand from the business end of it, there have been some glitches, but that's kind of out of my hands. I know it's really frustrating to Wes. Sandy, did you get anything today? Okay, last time I talked to Wes was this morning at 7:30 or thereabout. And some of the business forms, it must be the business license and the insurance part, I think. Well, I'm not sure exactly.
The business license you do through the Department of Revenue. We don't do it anymore in this office. They
Oh,
took that back
okay.
over. But
Anyway.
they do need to bring in your
He
insurance.
said that, again, they have messed something up and then he wants me to assure you, you will get the paperwork as soon as he does. But as of this morning, he said that, and I think he said state patrol. So I'm getting into an area of the business that, quite frankly, maybe isn't our business. We're the sponsoring organization. We trust Wes to do the business part of it. We take the money that is our part of it when he's due, and that goes into our scholarships. And from our point, we're ready to go. The rest of it, I don't know. And Wes, I know Wes is really frustrated with that too. That That's pretty much it from what I can tell you.
Great. Well, we just had that under council information. There was,
There has to be a consensus for them to sell the fireworks stuff. That's,
Okay.
it's just a consensus if there's not a motion.
okay,
That's good.
Well,
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Yeah,
As long as you get all the
one
paperwork,
question,
yeah.
I consent, but do we have certain designated areas for having shooting fireworks off in town? Oh, okay,
Not that I'm aware of.
oh, okay,
we just have hours that you're allowed to do
Yeah,
it.
right,
and
yeah, okay.
Days.
I was just wondering, yeah.
Yeah, and there, that part of it is.
Yeah,
That's our job, yeah, right, anyway, no, that's fine.
great.
Okay,
Yeah.
Question,
anything else?
yeah. I've noticed, you've sold the fireworks there in the grocery store parking lot forever. Just about. Is there any alternative places that you could set the stands up?
I'm not sure, I didn't hear you.
Is there any place else that you could sell the fireworks?
Is there any place else? Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know that, and I wasn't involved directly with the fireworks or the negotiations. It, as best I understand, is whatever business does that has to have a sponsoring nonprofit organization, and that would be us.
Mm.
Say, and so I don't know, other than that,
So Market Fresh is the lead person,
Yeah.
lead player in the fireworks.
the fireworks itself.
Yeah, the grocery store.
Yeah, they sell them and they
They
just,
purchase them and sell them.
Yeah, it's,
I-
there's another business, a fireworks business that comes in and sets up and actually, in conjunction with Wes,
Okay,
does the sales. And frankly, a few years ago, we offered to help them do that, and pretty much were told they would rather we didn't. And I think that was for liability and insurance reasons. They didn't want somebody that they weren't employed not to be involved. And so that's what I say. We're really kind of a distant participant here. We're the sponsoring organization, but that's as far as it goes.
interesting. Okay, thank you.
And I think as far as selling it places, I think the fire marshal office has something to do with that, saying where you can and can't do it.
Well, it makes sense.
I don't know how that works either, but I know that they have a big hand.
There's more unknowns here than anything. That's what I'm finding. So I don't know. I don't know. It's always nice to have plan B and even plan C sometimes, Well,
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, it looks like we have a full consensus from council, so proceed as usual, Mr. Olson. Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Well, next, we'll move on to, department reports. And, we'll start with, Sandy, city administrator.
So Public Works, they're crack sealing now. That's pretty much what they've been doing the last few weeks. Wastewater treatment plant, the project that they're doing out there, they just got done painting the dry bed, should be done by Friday. And the structure part of it will be done probably by August, and that's what they're working on now.
Great. Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Fire chief, Noah Hall.
So with the fireworks topic, just remind everybody that it is, I know we got some rain like the last couple of days, but it is gonna be dry. I'm pretty sure of that. So just cautious on that. And as far as where people can light them off, I know that they go down to World War II Park. But the school district does not want anybody on their properties doing that. And that's one of the things I know the fire department sees, and obviously the police department sees. So you can't use the school property to light them off. So
As far as the, them going off at the World War II park, since I've been here, I've seen tons and tons of complaints about the trash that they leave there afterwards. Is there anything in place or, at all? Or has there ever been anything in place to ensure that people pick up after themselves?
So typically what happens, is the city of Goldendale puts a dumpster down there.
Okay.
And they're supposed to pick up after themselves. I believe it was last year, we went there 2 times for dumpster fire, for that, but, they're supposed to pick up after themselves, they don't, and then Sandy can correct me on this, but I believe the Public Works goes out the next day and uses the street sweeper and different things like that. Pick up all the remains.
They have, there was also
There's been a couple of
there was
groups, I
group
think, that
that
have,
went over there the last couple of years and would
Mhm.
clean up after the fact. But for people in general, I mean, we do want them to clean up their trash, but
You want them to clean up, but it's safer to leave the fireworks there until they're all the way cool. People.
Before you put them in
they
the
get done, They
dumpster.
throw them in the dumpster,
Sure.
and that's why we've had so many dumpster fires and
Mhm.
other issues with
So-
that.
But we don't have anybody from the city that actually stays down there and monitors or anything.
no.
We patrol as we can.
Okay.
We used to do that, but I'll be completely honest with you, it's so. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, it's not a good idea to be there.
It's just very chaotic throughout, those couple hours. And so it's, even patrolling, we used to do bike patrol on that. I mean, now with our staffing now, we're not able to do that this year. But it's just, there's a lot, if you ever drive around town on the 4th of July, you'll see very quickly how,
Yeah.
best people will give them the intersection, let them do it in a safe manner, and
Okay.
And we typically have fire trucks driving around throughout the night. Obviously, the police department is out. So we kind of look for people doing some stuff they shouldn't be, but you can't catch them all. Yeah, so 4th of July, hopefully it's not busy. And then I just wanted to touch on, we had a house fire last Monday. The page went out at 1916. Our first engine arrived at 1920. So 4-minute response. So that's time of page to the scene. We were doing training at the time. We just started, so that's why we got a good response. But because I believe in less than 5 minutes, we had 2 engines, our air van, and there was something else that was there. So that's unheard of time, but it was obviously during the time, a lot of people seen it. It was all over Facebook. It was a fully involved, single wide trailer. So, I mean, you can only imagine, it took us 4 minutes to get there and it was fully involved by the time we got there. That's how fast those single wides go up. So that's also keep your grass cut around your buildings and, 4th of July is coming. That's how fast, a house can go up. So that's all I got.
Hey, Chief. Police Chief Mike Smith.
yes, Mayor. On June 12th, about 15 hours, we conducted 2 search warrants simultaneously. On an ongoing investigation, Officer Bracken has been working on. It's still under investigation, so I'm kind of limited on what I can say. But we did arrest 2 adults. A third one was left the scene and fled. There's now a warrant for his arrest. Also, we seized, I believe, just right around 12 guns and some narcotics. We actually we'll be doing some charges with a delivery possession. And so that was kind of good news. Both of them went off without a hitch. We also used the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department as backup, and Fish and Game officers were available. So we actually utilized them. So between the 3 agencies, it worked out really good and they were all executed safely. And so.
Good.
And so other than that, we're still looking for that other officer who's put out on PST. I haven't got a new applicant in the last 2 months. And so we're still just hoping to find somebody either lateral or even a new entry level. So we're still struggling with that, but we're just kind of wait and see what happens with the summer. And so everything I have will be on J2. So
Great. Thank you, Chief. Okay, we'll move on to council business, the municipal employees union contract. And this is what we went over and got consensus on at the last executive session that we did in the negotiations.
Tony's on the line too.
And
So is Jen.
Tony and Jen are on the line if we had any questions for them, or if Tony, would you like to speak to this a little bit before I get questions from the council?
Hold on, you're muted, Tony.
I wanted to make sure I was muted while you were having your council discussions and your reports. So I've got an old hunting dog here to my right, and he's whining once in a while. So I don't want to interfere with your operations, but I wanted to compliment you. We were able to get a ratification from the bargaining unit and the union, and all went well. All of it is consistent with our two executive sessions where we obtained consensus. And so at this point, what we would appreciate is a ratification vote and an authorization for the mayor to sign the collective bargaining agreement. And then, of course, we would move forward with Sandy's help and implement the terms and conditions. So I compliment you on all the hard work you put in, and the mayor and Sandy. We've had a really good team, and this will hopefully put you in a great position for recruitment and retention of employees. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm sure Jen is too.
Thank you, Tony. Does anybody have any questions for Tony or Jen, our accountant?
I just wanted to say thanks for expediting this because it's been on the burner for all of last year and most of this year. So thank you when you guys got a hold of it, doing what you could to make it work.
I think we came up
Thank
with
you.
a good solution. Thanks to Jen and Tony for all their hard work.
Exactly.
And Sandy.
Mhm. And you.
I didn't do a whole lot. Well, unless there's any other questions or comments, I trust everybody's had a chance to review this. It's the same information that we went over at the last two executive sessions. Unless there's any other comment, I would entertain a motion.
I move to authorize the mayor to execute the collective bargaining agreement with local 1533G municipal employees effective January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I'll open the floor to any discussion. Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you all the council persons as well as Sandy for all the hard work that you put in. Appreciate it very much, and hopefully we will move forward with this. Have a great evening.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move along. The next item on the agenda under resolutions, resolution number 735, the clerk treasurer appointment. As you know, the position of clerk treasurer has been duly advertised. And I have extended a conditional offer of employment to Shelley Enderby. I request the council to confirm the appointment of Shelley Enderby as the clerk treasurer. You have some information in your packet about Shelley. She's worked in finance for over 20 years, and we feel she will be a great fit to the position of clerk treasurer.
Well, Mayor, I so move, there's no more discussion, I so move to approve the resolution number 735, confirming Mayor Jones' appointment of Shelley Enderby as the clerk treasurer, and concur with the conditional offer of employment dated 6/15/24.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, resolution passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, we'll move right along. Next item under J is ordinances. the revised salary schedule by ordinance for the municipal employees. And Sandy, would you care to explain this one, please?
So this just goes along with passing the municipal union contract. We have to, by ordinance, accept the new salary schedule. It's added there at the bottom.
Yeah, so what a gist of it is, when the union contract for the municipal employees are ratified by the union, the revised pay plan with the municipal employees must be incorporated into the 24 citywide salary grid that needs to be approved by the council. For the non-union employees, including the public works.
And the
director
union,
person-
the whole thing. The only
Yeah.
thing that didn't change was the police department salary, because that was already done a couple years ago.
Right,
So that stayed.
So do we have the old one?
What are the changes?
Yeah, where are the changes? Are there changes? I'm assuming.
Adding the bottom section there.
No, I mean for the city administrator, public works director, the ones
I
that
can
aren't
print
union.
that off. If you like.
Well, I'd like to see the changes compared
Okay.
to. I mean,
I can go print that.
Has the job description for the city administrator been changed since?
right,
Have we officially divorced those roles of city administrator and public works director?
and if so, is the cost down from what it was or not? I mean,
let's wait till Sandy gets back
Okay.
and she'll help us answer those.
okay,
Well, it's an awkward position to put her in.
it is, but I mean, but it's important, we need to know it,
Yeah,
I think.
The language on this motion that we're working with here does imply that there is a position for public works director have been established.
Right, but since they were merged before, I'm sure that chances are the salary was higher than what it would be if with two separate positions. So now I'm curious to see if it's the same or if it's gone down. Or if it's gone,
And that portion of it, you're gonna have to go clear back to when this was put together. Shuffling of funds, salary, in a number of different ways.
Be good to look at public works director positions from other cities, see what their qualifications and requirements are.
I agree with you, Lauren. So with the city administrator and public works director mixed together last year, it was 8,363, and this year they're two separate, both of them higher each. Am I seeing this correctly?
Yeah, so what we did was what we've done in the past was go onto the AWC website. And so on AWC, they have a salary schedule that cities put out every year or that can and put in all of their salary grid. So we went through all of the cities that they did for the union contract. And then we also looked at all of the cities on this side of the mountain. And it prints off a salary grid of what their low and their high is. And so that's where we found the public works or the public works director position. Salary was based on average cities that are the same population that we are. So like Zilla, Connell, Benton City, Granger, Cashmere, Medical Lake North. So I think there was 10 or 12, several cities that we can click on by population, and it populates what their low is and what their high is.
I guess it'd be good to, like in the future, have a fuller informational package that has some of that AWC information included up front. And thinking about like our hiring process, I'd like to see us go back to what we've done in the past, where there's some council members involved in that process, rather than like just let's confirm it after the fact. So that we see, you know, like resumes, job experience, that sort of thing, have some, at least a few council members on the committee that have some closer, engagement in the hiring process for some of these lead positions.
When it comes time for the public works director position.
Yeah. well, or just going
Any-
forward, Yeah.
any
kind
forward
of
that are-
forward,
that
kind of
are
like what
big
we've done in the past,
positions.
Except for with these last two, the city administrator and the clerk treasurer position, like have a committee of council members and have them more engaged and involved. So my 2 cents.
I agree with his 2 cents.
Well, but I would assume that our first approach would be to look in-house.
Yeah, we will.
Well, they did,
Yeah,
but also, but I think what you're saying, Lauren, if I understand correctly, is that you would like for us to get a little bit more information too, so that we're not just handed a packet saying, please, are you gonna approve or not?
Yeah, and especially with I don't know, the splitting of the city administrator, public works director, like
Exactly.
that's reevaluating the full positions, those job descriptions and everything. And so there should be a little bit more, I feel like there should be more process and discussion. So
I do as
there,
well.
like refreshing that public works director position description and you know, updating the wages and all that kind of stuff. So
understand.
Well, one has to keep in mind that when this was done, which is how long ago? 15 years
Yes,
at least. All the salaries were considerably less, for one thing, across the board. And even though I did disagree with that from the very beginning. And now, essentially what we're doing is putting it back the way it was. You've heard the notion that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what was done. It wasn't broke, and it tried to get fixed inappropriately, and I think the city has suffered substantially because of that. And this is going to make it much more efficient, much more effective for the departments to do their jobs and maintain their.
Absolutely agree. I don't think that the splitting it up is the issue. It's more of who has which job. What exactly are the job performances or the job descriptions, and how much money should be allotted for those, because it was combined, and now that it's split up again, it's more for each of them individually, even when it was combined. And so it's kind of one of those, I just kind of, it seems like it should be looked into a little bit, not saying that I wouldn't agree at all. Merely it should be looked into, that's all.
And again, I would say it would help a lot if you knew how this was done in the very beginning, how that money was dispersed.
Yeah,
It wasn't a straight across the board deal,
yeah, that's
by
good.
no means. I mean, when they did that, the city administrator position didn't take all the salary.
And we don't have those two position position descriptions separated yet, do we?
they were
Line by
already,
line?
they were already adopted by resolution, which
Okay.
is what's in there. The
Okay.
one for
So
the,
that's how it will be from
Yeah.
here on? Okay.
yeah, because they were both adopted by resolution. We didn't dissolve those, so they just went back to what they were. They were still in our booklet as far as what
What
the administrator
responsibilities
did,
and-
what
okay.
the public works director did, what every job description is.
Okay.
Those are all passed by resolution,
So
and we still have this, so we just went back.
Yes, Lauren.
I guess another one of my concerns, we talked about having a budget committee meeting and bringing that back to council. We never got around to, it. We're looking at increasing, when we constantly run into not cash flow issues, but being budget constrained. But this change represents a change of $168,000 a year approximately in wages. To cover the administrative positions, and so I just, for myself, I'd like more clarification on where that additional $168,000 a year is coming from. Like, our budget person says we have enough money, but I'd like to understand that better. I mean, is it put us in more of a budgetary constraints in other areas, like paint and safety, crosswalks and school zone signs and that sort of thing, so.
Understood.
Jen's still online if we have any questions for her.
Okay, well, maybe we can, Jen, maybe you can help us address some of those concerns that the council has, brought up.
The full amount, because the position was partially already in the general fund, the biggest hit's going to be the utility funds, which is based on the salary survey. And we factored it into the existing budget, and the budget definitely has capacity for this year and moving forward. And then there were other tools that were built into the salary survey that you haven't adopted yet, which would be the increase to the utility tax. I believe that's supposed to be coming forward at some point, Sandy.
Yes, we're still looking at that.
And when you implement those changes, that'll help with making sure this moves forward fine. Sales tax has been increasing as well. And the city can look at how to prioritize some of the other projects that are existing using rate funds. And so there are other funding sources that can help alleviate and move things around, but having the budget committee discussion to see how it best moves forward for the city will be a great step to make sure that everything is sustainable. I mean, on paper, it's definitely sustainable moving forward, but then having that long-term picture to make sure with projects and other things that the city wants to complete, making sure that you have the strategy to move forward and plan for it. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think those utility rate increases were based on the condition of our utility infrastructure and getting those things addressed, not covering staff increases, so. Just want to make sure we're completely transparent in this process.
Does anybody else have comments or questions or motions or recommendations?
I move to approve ordinance number 1539, amending ordinance number 1535, which is the 2024 budget and providing for a revised 2024 salary schedule and waiving the second reading.
Fair.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Yes, Steve.
I'm sorry for not paying attention. Did you include waiving the second reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
My second still stands.
Okay,
Why would we waive the second reading? Why not provide a time for public feedback to council members individually or people that want to come to a second reading? What's the benefit of that?
I just read the motion. I guess that's what we've always done, so I don't know. I mean,
Oh,
can we change that or what? I mean,
You waive the second reading to go ahead and get it done, move on.
Yeah, but we don't do that to other,
Not always. Yeah,
No, no, it's not always, but it's not uncommon.
first time I've heard it since I've been in here.
Well, I've been here very long.
That's true. It's a little odd.
Well, I have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Okay, I have a motion and a second. Hearing no further discussion, I will call for a vote. All in favor?
Why?
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on to item J under ordinances. Updating the city criminal code, and Police Chief Mike Smith, would you please explain this one?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
So back in 2021, before I became chief, the House Bill 1320 passed. What that means is that we established the guidelines for protection order violations, and the new marks you got used to came along with that with the Washington State. The city of Goldendale did not adopt that at that time. I'm not sure why. It came up to in a court case with our city attorney Lance Fitzgerald. He was able to write us up a new ordinance to adopt that, so we can actually charge on those violations. And so it's a necessary process that we have to adopt, or we're not gonna be able to enforce a lot of the potential ordinance, which would be not a good thing. And so I'm just recommending that you guys pass and approve the mayor to sign, the city administrator and attorneys to adopt that ordinance 1538.
I move to approve ordinance number 1538, updating the city criminal code and revising the code to be consistent with state law.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Okay, moving right along to report of officers. We'll start over here with Mylan Walling.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Well, I guess tonight we don't have the airport committee. We're continue working, and we got a meeting coming up here in a few more days, and we're hopefully we can get some good news from Senator Cantwell's staff, and so that's one thing we're working on, and there's a lot of things we're working on. The chamber is working on a lot of good projects. So anyway, I'm very confident and very pleased how things are kind of going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mylan. Danielle.
I'm going to the AWC annual conference. I leave tomorrow. So if you have any questions that you want me to bring up while I'm there, please let me know. I'll be there through, I'm coming back here Friday morning. So they're going to have a lot of breakout meetings. So if you have anything that you want to discuss or anything that you're curious about, want to know more information about grant writing is one of the areas that I'm going to be trying to find out the most information about personally. But if you guys have something, let me know. Also, MCED, I just got appointed. I will get appointed tomorrow to be part of the MCED that Mylan was a part of. And that's the economic development growth in the Mid-Columbia area. So there's 4 meetings that you have to go to, but if anyone else would like to ever go along with those, 2 of them are virtual, 2 are, in person. And it'll be good to help us understand what we can do and can't do, and some different ideas that could be floated around to try to get the economy here in Goldendale up a little bit better. So just let me know if you're interested. That's it.
Thank you, Danielle. Andy.
All I have is wishing happy Pride Month to everyone in the LGBTQ plus community here in Goldendale.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks. Ellie. Okay, Lauren.
I guess looking at my schedule and time commitments with more than a full-time job and travel and trying to help out with 4-H youth and some of the other things I'm engaged in, I would encourage anyone in the community that's interested in participating on city council to step up forward, come attend a few meetings, and consider filling vacant positions on the council.
Thank you, Lauren.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, just a couple of things. One is relative to the Public Works Committee meeting that I tried to put together, and it really got out of hand, got out of control. And in the meantime, with just a serendipitous discussion with the city administrator and the mayor, it's been pretty much resolved to the point that it's gonna be without any more discussion or taking up anybody else's time in regards to that. But what it amounted to was the north side water project that we just awarded, only covering partial replacement of the street on a couple of the streets. One was northwest High Street and Pine Street. But part of it has been rectified and is gonna be dealt with in, I think, proper manner. So that's all good. And the rest of it we could talk about when we have to visit our 6-year street plan, which probably should be coming up sometime in the near future. And anyway, that was that, and I apologize for the confusion on the committee meeting.
We haven't had one in a while, so.
Oh, no, I haven't, but there are other issues that we can, that we need to have a committee meeting for, about that. But we're going through a major transition with staffing, and we're feeling growing pains, put it that way. So, I'm kind of reluctant to get too pushy on some of these items right away, but yeah, we will. I've got a couple of items I'd like to bring up. The other is, we have a scheduled parks meeting
Yes,
on the 24th.
right,
At what time?
5:30.
5:30. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Steve. And the only thing I had is, we need to schedule an appointment with the events committee. Mylan, Danielle, and Ellie. Today we received a request for funds from the tourism money from the Chamber of Commerce. So I'd like to schedule a time that the events committee could go over this and then make a recommendation to the full city council as per how we do things at the next city council meeting on the first Monday of July. So can we get something set up, or we could do it via email if it would be more convenient to the three of you?
I'm happy to meet right here in City Hall, maybe next week. Is that too far off?
No, next week would be fine.
Okay,
I'm free Monday.
and what again?
I'm free on Monday.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not.
Okay,
Well, I don't know.
Monday or Friday are the only 2 days I'm free.
Was that right? The 25th, you're busy?
Yep.
So you're shooting.
Well, I
you're
am in the
May or-
evening. I'm sorry.
This one's May, is his in May?
No, his is
Okay,
June.
perfect,
I just
Sorry,
use my
I
phone
just-
instead.
sure.
It depends on the time I have.
It should be about a 15 to 20-minute meeting, I would think, just so you guys could get together and provide a recommendation on what to do.
If we
about
get that
this
sent out to all of us, or then we could probably do it over an email, is my guess. I mean, if you send that to all of us and we have questions about it, if there's lots of questions, but if it's pretty cut and dry, then we could probably do it via an email and just say, this is what I think.
Well, if that's what you wish, I know, I personally like to meet.
Well,
meet
I
here.
do too, but I cannot on Monday unless it's during the day, and you
Okay.
can't do it
I can do it as long as it's afternoon.
okay, let's see. I can do it from noon to 1, or that's it, noon to 1, or prior to 1 o'clock. I can do it
On what day are we talking?
Monday.
Monday the
Monday.
24th,
24th?
Yep.
Okay,
Monday the 24th at noon.
Mylan, you can come in at noon.
Oh, you can do it at noon, or on Monday. Then.
You can do it Monday at noon.
oh, well, actually, no, I really can't, I'm sorry, I think I have.
Tuesday,
to-
I can do
have
it
to-
before 1.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, let's do it Tuesday, if that's okay, I think I have to be in the
Tuesday
Dalles
at noon,
to
same
a
time.
meeting in
Okay.
the Dalles.
Sounds good. Tuesday at noon.
Tuesday the 25th at noon. Okay,
Just one other, Mayor, back to your comment, Steve, when you're talking about the 6 year treatment plan. I did mention that to Larry, number of weeks ago, and I think he's gonna help Shelley to work on this. And he said he'd look into it. No, I was specifically talking about Hill Street. The Hill Street, the one from Broadway to the fairgrounds.
Oh,
Mill,
Oh, Bill, I'm sorry.
no problem.
Thanks for correcting me. Yeah. And also bringing another subject up, we had talked about taking those trees, some of the trees out. I don't know if that's something we want to pursue.
Broadway.
Yes, right. We talked about it. We did a tour. And that's as far as we went. And so do we want to try to do that this summer?
Same thing with the parking, we never resolved the parking.
Right, yeah, that's
So,
true.
A lot of back burner issues.
Yeah, right.
Did anyone ever look up, when I brought up about the parking on the corner of Columbus and Broadway in that empty lot? Did anyone look into that to see if the city could possibly buy that lot as a parking place?
I wasn't
Oh,
at
at
that
the
meeting.
corner, right over here in the corner.
Mhm.
The gas
I
station,
I brought it up 3 meetings ago.
is it for sale or?
Yes,
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is for sale? Oh,
Has been for a long time.
It's
You know how much
recently
they want for it?
transacted, there's a new owner, but
Oh, there is.
the new owner could be approached.
Oh, there is a new owner.
Mhm.
They might be easier to deal with. I know the other one was.
well, I think that wasn't the issue. The issue was what was underneath that to see, because there was possibly pea gravel filling up tanks or something. And what you can build on there or not, but nobody had the answer to what is actually, if it's filled correctly or not. That's what the last that I heard.
The Department of Ecology would have all that information and. the
I had asked the old public works director to look into it, and then the next week he was not here.
Right, but anybody that's been here for any length of time watched them mitigate that. They dug that entire area. Dug a hole, what, about 25 feet deep? Removed all the soil, and I
Yeah.
do believe, I would venture to say, the Department of Ecology has given it a clean bill of health. For all purposes.
I really think that that's something that should be looked into for us to see if we can get public parking right there, because it would help exponentially for the business owners in that area downtown.
Depends on what they want, how much they want for it.
Well, sure, but I mean, so here's my question then. Since he's not here, who would look into that? Since Pat's no longer here, who would be the one that would find out that information?
We can add it to an agenda for you guys to have a discussion over, as a discussion item. We'd
Okay,
have to get consensus from everybody to
okay,
approve. We can then look forward to see if that's for sale and how much it's for sale.
okay,
And then we'll also have to check with ecology to find out if they can blacktop it or not. And I know right now blacktop is extremely expensive. But we would have to look and see if that's how much the area is as far as blacktopping goes. Cause I think right now it's like $4 a square foot for blacktop is what we were
Wow.
looking at earlier, because we can't get it anywhere local. And depending on the price of the job, we'd have to bid out for somebody else to do it. Wouldn't be something we do it ourselves. So.
I think it's something to look into. I think
So
it
would
would
it be an
help a
amount?
lot of different issues
Okay.
with downtown.
It probably wouldn't be on the next council, but we'll get some information put together for that.
Beautiful, thank you.
Great.
If I may, I'll come back to the Public Works Committee. Mylan has brought up an issue that we could probably address. That would be the parking situation and those trees. Try to move forward on that. Put it to rest.
And also the sealant, because I brought it up the same meeting, that sealant that is like so inexpensive. It was in our Public Works little magazine that we get, and I brought it up, and it's not clear coat, and it's not the common one that we use. It's actually better for the environment. It's a lot less expensive. You can drive or walk on it, drive on it after a half an hour after it's laid. Super product. I even looked into it for my own stuff. Great product, and I had brought that up on the same meeting that I brought up the parking spot area. And I think that for Public Works, that would be a great thing to look into. If you don't remember what I'm talking about, I can bring that magazine back in and show you.
Please do. Please do. Cause I vaguely remember reading it, yeah.
For sidewalks and things like that is what I'm talking about.
Not for a parking lot.
You can use it for a parking lot, but it has to have the existing structure already there. So it's for a parking lot that is crackled or cracked or has, you know, lifts up or whatever.
Okay,
It's kind of like a reseal, but it's way better and lasts longer and cheaper and better for the environment and all of that.
Okay,
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. No negatives that I found.
Great. Great, well, we'll talk about getting a Public Works Committee meeting set up here in the near future with the entire Public Works Committee, so we can all get on the same page and talk about some of those issues, specifically that Broadway parking, because I know we have a study going on. So I'll talk to Dustin over at Pioneer and see where we are on that and see what we can bring to the council and come up with a decision on that for sure.
we even had those consultants come in,
Yeah,
we walked with them,
yeah,
but a lot of this, I think, is common sense that. We can look at our map,
sure,
we can figure this out, and line of sight is one of them, and that's where those trees come in.
yeah,
I think that's our biggest issue too. Is the line of sight.
Well, it's a safety issue.
yeah.
Most of them are about dead anyway.
Yeah, I
They'll
know,
start falling down.
I know, unfortunately.
Okay.
Great. Well, thanks. That brings us to, is there a motion for adjournment?
Nope.
Nope,
Public
public
comment.
comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks. I got off track a little bit. Is there anybody here for public comment? Any topic? Hearing none. I will close open public comment. And move on to, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for adjournment. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Hi,
Opposed? Thank you.
thank you.